Okay, here he goes again.
Watching our dog jerk off. That's great.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
He's really getting into it right now.
Pinky! Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your very first time here, welcome. My name is Angelica Fitzgerald and I have a special guest today, my husband, Nick Fitzgerald. And today we're gonna be talking about a big life update.
We're moving to Texas!
If you watched my last video, you'll know I shared huge news that we are moving to Texas. We actually are also filming in a different part of the house. As you can tell, we've got our wine bar area, which is like one of our favorite parts about our California house. We thought we would kind of switch it up today. But anyways, we are moving to Texas. We are gonna start packing like this week. So this is like the last week of somewhat sanity, would you say, in the house?
Yeah, this house is gonna look like this.
It's not gonna look like this soon. So we just wanted to hop on, share the life news together, talk about our move, talk about why we're moving, talk about the house a little bit. We're like so crazy excited about how freaking beautiful our new home is and just some of the reasons. And also on Instagram, I got a lot of awesome questions that I wanted to answer on here as well. So if you're ready to learn a little bit about our move and our big life change, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button down below to keep up with my future videos. Now let's go. Alright.
Let's do it.
How you feeling, babe?
Good. Excited. Glad it's all done. It's kind of crazy getting the deal done, but now that it's done, I'm excited.
Yeah, he's one of those people that, like, even when we signed the deal, but we were waiting for the funding to go through, he was like, no, I can't get excited until it's like done, which I get because this has been a process. Yeah. We have been looking for a house for, like, since April, right?
Like April-ish.
April is when the idea came to us. It's October right now, so basically 6 months. You were the first one to propose moving back to Texas. We were playing golf, and you were like, we're successful. Let's ditch. Let's go home. What are your thoughts? And I almost like died. Had that ever crossed your mind before?
Well, like we always thought about like spending more time back in Texas, but we didn't really have like an official date. Like we had talked a few times about different time frames. And I don't know, I just had this thought. I'm like, hey, if we're going to move in the next like year or two, what are we waiting for?
Yeah.
Right? And then if we're not going to and we plan to stay here for like 5 or 10 years, I want to know that because I want to establish certain things in the area that I'm going to live. I want to be more involved in the community. I want to like do certain things to the house and stuff like that. Yeah. And so that was a big factor. And then, you know, we just happened to be going to Texas for multiple things because family was expanding. Our little niece was, you know, being born and baby showers before that and all of that. So we're going back and forth to Texas a lot. Yeah. And so I was like, we should look. And then we looked at first and I didn't really like anything. And then we finally found a neighborhood and there's actually 2 other deals that basically were like, we put offers in on. We're pretty close to getting them done and didn't work out.
We had a cash offer totally outdo us, and then we had our other offer, the people were like, wait, we want to renovate the whole house, so psych, it's not for sale.
Yeah, when we were going to sign, so those 2 didn't work out, but it was a huge blessing though, because like the third house, the house that we actually own now, by the time you're watching this video, we closed on it a week ago, so it's funded, it's everything,
it's like done.
It's our house.
And also it's like, I mean, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but it shits on our other houses that we were trying to get. It's like everything happens for a reason and you just have to trust the process, let God lead you, trust that He is going to guide you to the right spot.
For sure.
Which He did.
For sure, because like, by the way, this is your channel, so I think you can say whatever you want. I don't know about what you guys have to say about that, but I'm pretty sure she's free and clear to say what she wants.
I never curse though. I'm really mindful about that because I know like if like our kid was ever watching YouTube and someone else cursed, you know,
so,
I think about that.
But yeah, so the first house thing, like it didn't go through and it was just like a little bit of a letdown. And then the second one, you know, we were so close and we negotiated for so long, we told our families. We kept this a secret from everybody at first, we didn't want anyone to get excited because our families live in Texas. But we were so close to getting the deal done. It was literally like the husband had signed, the wife was the only person left to sign the offer, and she changed her mind. But we had already told our family, so it was like, oh crap.
Okay.
Of course, I didn't want to tell them. Somebody was very, very excited.
I couldn't wait!
And
this was my first time doing the whole buying process, like being a huge, I mean, I'm wifey, so I'm a huge part of stuff now. And so this was my first time actually going through the home buyer's process. And I mean, if you've ever bought a house, you remember the first time, your first time doing anything, you're like dying of excitement, especially since this is such a huge life decision and we're both really close with our families and they both live in Texas. We couldn't wait to share this huge news with them. But let's go back a little bit because we just like poured out our whole process.
Yeah, unpack it, babe.
Unpack. Okay. Hold on, where do I want to start?
Dun, dun, dun.
Thinking, hold on. Okay, so I have my reasons for wanting to move. And I know you have yours. And for the big part, they align very well because obviously we're moving together.
Yeah.
But what are your main reasons and what are you most excited for going back to Texas?
So I've moved almost every year of my life since I was about 5 years old. So yeah, it's insane. So because of that, I've never really lived in like a place for an extended period of time. And so I'm really excited to like live in a place that I'm gonna live in for a long period of time, that I get to like make my house the way we want. Ever since I've lived on my own, I've lived in apartments. I did own a house for a little while that I lived in when I was still in the Army. But I didn't really like customize it. I just bought a new home and it was there, and I didn't have a lot of money then, so it's not the biggest house in the world. And you know, I've rented ever since then. And so I'm excited to have a house that's my own, that I know I'm gonna live at for the next 10 or 20 years, or at least it'd be one of my homes or one of our homes, and you know, make it the way that we want. And so that was huge. And the other really cool part about the third house, the house we actually got, is after the second house, and there wasn't any other houses on the market that we really were interested in, I was actually starting to get my agent to look for lots. And I'm like, maybe we'll just build a house. But unfortunately, in that neighborhood that we wanted to live in, people wanted almost a house for the dirt, for the lot. And so that wasn't really an option because there's not a lot of lots available in there. So the third house, the lot is way bigger. It's like 0.7 acres, 7.75 acres. So like almost pretty getting close to a full acre, which is really big for like a you know, a normal house neighborhood.
Yeah.
And so it's got a huge front yard, all landscaped beautifully. The backyard's huge, it's got a huge pool. It's got all the outdoor kitchen and fireplaces and all of that, and plenty of room to like, you know, put stuff back there later when we have kids. So that's huge. And then obviously the house is massive, as you guys have probably seen in the photos that Angelica posted.
Which, by the way, not to interrupt you, but if you haven't seen the photo, we both posted it on our socials on IG. So I'm gonna put both of our G's down here. Super easy, at Nick Fitz, at Angelica Fitz. Go look at the house. It's gorgeous. And when we move in, we're gonna be sharing all the stuff. So you're gonna wanna see all that.
Yeah, so this one's way cooler. But a big part of the moving back, to actually get back to your question, is you know, being closer to our families as we start our own family. It's being established somewhere for a long period of time. Like I said, I moved so much growing up that like, and throughout my life, I never really got to establish myself in the community and do different things. So I'm excited for that to be a big part of the area, whatever that ends up being. And I strategically picked the neighborhood that we're moving to. There's like a whole philosophy behind it and everything. And I'm excited for the relationships and the people that I'm gonna meet there. I have no idea who they all are or what they are, but there's a reason for that neighborhood. And so, and I love to golf. My non-negotiable on this house was it had to be near a golf course where I could like take my golf cart to the golf course, like, and that's how it is. And so I'm really excited for that, and I hope we get a heck of a lot better at golf too. So
I can't wait until we watch this video in like a year when you just said, I can't wait for who I'm gonna meet and who's gonna be part of my community and my network. Like, oh, I just can't wait because it's just gonna be so great to be truly part of a community.
Absolutely. All right, so obviously your work is mainly in LA.
Yeah.
How has that been? Thinking, like, just going through the motions, is that's going to change since you love modeling?
Well, being fully transparent, like, and you know, because you've been the only one I've like fully shared this with and like all my emotions. My heart is so torn, or it was so torn. Now that we're like over the hump of like, we have the house, we're dreaming, we're planning the move, I'm like in Texas. But that first part about like looking for a house, thinking about leaving California, that just, I cried every single time. And I know it's gonna be so hard when we like are actually driving out of California, because California is where we did so much stuff. We moved here when we were just dating. We got engaged here, we got married here, we got our first house here, which is a huge life like level up. Yeah. And we had so many apartments here, but each was because it was a level up. We got our little binky here, who was like our whole world. We've just done so many things here that have grown and propelled us so much. And to me, it's just such a beautiful chapter, and I am such a sentimental person, so letting go, or not letting go, but putting all those memories in my pocket for good, like, gets me emotional right now thinking about it. Wow, you're yawning. Wow. But to answer your question about work and stuff, I just lucked out. And this is one of those things, again, like, I brought God up already, but like, give it to him, because he gave me the best agent on the planet. Russell, if you're watching me, you're probably like, I know. But my agent is incredible. And when I had this conversation with him about, hey, we're moving, and I know this is the call you always dreaded from the minute you met me, which he's so funny. He was like, I knew someday after you got married, I would either get the dreaded you're moving back to Texas call, or the dreaded I'm pregnant call. And I've just known in my gut that that was gonna come soon. And I was like, well, this is the Texas call. So luckily, I do a lot of other work. I mean, y'all know, social media, huge part of my life. And then I do have another business that's a secret that I haven't shared with anybody yet, that is in California, in addition to my modeling, that's always gonna keep me coming back here. So I have so much more peace knowing that I'm gonna be in LA once a month for all my work. And it's not gonna be like goodbye forever. And once I actually talked with my agent, we figured out a plan. He messaged all my clients and let them know the news. And my clients were so supportive too. I mean, obviously it's a little bittersweet because they won't have access to me every single week like they do now. But they were so supportive, and we're basically like, we love working with her, and whenever she's here, we'll book her like crazy because she's our girl. So I feel so grateful, because I know not all people in entertainment have that in their work. And so the fact that that's all worked out with my agent, and that's all worked out with my clients, and that I'll be coming back to California once a month, that has made it a lot easier. But definitely been a process to get my head from where it started, which was freak out mode, to that, because I love modeling. And it's my biggest childhood dream to be shooting and working with clothing and working with industry professionals in entertainment. So the fact that I've gotten to do that for 6 years is already a blessing, but the fact that I'll get to continue to do so is just makes me happy. Also, one thing that I can be thankful for the pandemic for is that, and if you're in the entertainment industry, you feel me on this, all auditions are like 95% still self-tapes. So I can still do like 95% of my auditions in Texas. So that really doesn't get affected. And it was not like that pre-2020. So actually that's kind of like a blessing in disguise for me too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's huge. So basically, like, you get to still do what you love. You get to live where you want. Yeah. You get to do all that stuff. And you have a secret project that you've been working on that you guys better stay tuned, because I'm pretty sure this video is going to be posted before the project.
It will.
Yeah, so stay tuned. Like, it's pretty epic. I'm not going to disclose because she'll kill me, but like, you guys are in for a treat, ladies especially that follow her.
Yeah, I've been working very, very, very hard, putting all my heart and soul into it. This is like my baby. This is what I was born to do. So I'm really excited to finally actually share that with y'all. Hi, Binky! We'll bring Binky on, or I was gonna say at the end of the video, but apparently we're bringing him on right now.
I want to say hi.
It's family.
Hi.
Say hi, Binky. All right, so we did share on our social medias, our Instagrams, photo of the house. I did a little Q&A on Instagram and got like the coolest, most fun messages. That is one of the things I think I'm most shocked about this move is the actual support and excitement of our internet family. I was so nervous that like people weren't gonna really understand our move, and everyone has come out, even people I haven't spoken to in a while or ever spoken to before. They're so genuinely happy for us. It warms my heart. People are good. Okay, but one of the questions I loved getting, because obviously who doesn't love talking about their house, is what our favorite part of the house is. Man. So I wanted to ask you, I know there's a lot of cool, really cool features. Yeah. If you had to pick one favorite thing, I know this is like the hardest, I don't know if I can answer this, but one feature of the house, what is your favorite feature?
It's so hard to decide. Well, first off, I'm just stoked for like the community in general because it has the like most amazing golf course in like South Texas. So yeah, like that's huge. Which, and then, but for the house itself, like one thing, I don't even know if I even expressed this because there's some other cool stuff in the house, but I've always wanted my own pool table in my house. And this house has a pool area, like a game room with the pool table, the works. Like I'm so stoked for that. I always wanted my own pool table in my house to be able to like play with my friends when they come over and have a good time. Yeah. And then something that I wasn't expecting to necessarily have in this house, but when we started getting into houses the size of this one, they kind of just all had them, and that was like, we have a movie theater. They're like,
right.
like not just like a TV room, like a movie theater. So yeah. That's pretty epic.
That's my favorite part of the house. Not because it's a necessity at all, not because it's technically not the coolest feature in my opinion, but I feel like when you say you have a movie theater in your house, it makes people think, what kind of house do you have? Because that is not your normal house feature.
Well, one thing to point out, which is kind of funny, is house number 2 that we almost had under contract. It had a movie theater,
oh, yeah.
But it was like, they put a projector screen in like a big walk-in closet basically, and it calls it a movie theater. This one's like legit. It's got like stadium seating and
double layered, like it has a little popcorn station. Like it's legit. Again, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but if you want to see it, go follow us on IG because we will be sharing that like for a long time.
So I told the guy we bought it from, or I told my agent to tell. I was like, can he like make me some tutorial videos because there's so many advanced electronics throughout this entire house that run the stereos and all the houses and all these things. I was like, I need like some videos. Like,
I mean, he's the tech savvy one of the two of us. No hope. No hope for me. I'm actually scared I'm not going to be able to operate the house without you in it.
No, like this is how advanced it. They had to leave, like there's an iPad that was on the counter and I was like, oh, why is there an iPad here? And my agent's like, that's the brain of the house. That's what like runs the whole house. Like without that, like,
brain of the house.
Yeah, like, so.
I thought we were so high tech here when we got all the lights connected to our phone. But apparently it's like sound system, lights, like everything, water, it's all connected to the iPad, so.
Yeah, but I would say, like the reason that's so cool is like we want to be able to, like one of the reasons for getting a really big house, obviously right now it's the 2 of us, but you know we want to start our own family, but also our own families being able to come and visit, and then also you know, work stuff and events and different things. We wanted a house that was very inviting to have people over.
We wanted it to feel like our house was truly like everyone we know's house. Like,
yeah, so a lot of those features go with that. We got the movie theater, we got the game room, we have this giant balcony that I don't even know what we're supposed to do with it. It's so big. And then in the backyard, we got the pool, we got the fire pit, we got the outdoor kitchen, and all of that, and tons of seating. It's just really cool that we'll be able to have a lot of people come over to us and just spend time and build relationships and make memories with people.
Yeah, by the way, our real estate agent, Marco, at what's his real estate firm? Gotta give him the biggest shout out ever.
Al Realty, I think. Al Realty.
We're gonna write it down here for correct spelling, but just need to give him a shout out because this buying the house process, and he's been with us since the first house. He went through all the crap with us. It would not have been as smooth, and especially me as a first-time home buyer, it would not have been as smooth and easy, and even everybody that we worked with outside of him that needed to make this come together all told us, man, he was on top of it, man, he was always there to communicate, he never let anything slip through the cracks, so I'll give a shout out to Marco.
Yeah, if you're anywhere, like I would say probably within an hour or two of Houston, Texas, like
he's
you
your
definitely
guy.
should hit him up.
Yeah.
So in the new house, Angelica's office is actually bigger than the master bedroom. I did the
Wait, is it?
Yeah. I actually found the specs of the house the other day, and it is slightly bigger than the master bedroom.
What?
So her office is massive.
That means it's the biggest room in the house.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, I scored.
Yeah. So, anyway, so what all do you have planned for your office? What do you have going on? Because you have a lot more room. Plus, obviously, we're not renting that house; we own it, so you can kind of do what you want. Like, even my office, I don't know how I'm gonna trick it out because it's like wood, but like you have a massive like blank canvas office to like do whatever you want. Like, what do you got planned?
Oh man, okay, so that's like every artist's dream. So I'm an artistic person. He's the very analytical business of the two. I am the artist creator of the two of us. So like he just said, to have a blank canvas to do whatever I want is like giving me life. So it was the little girl's room for the previous owners.
Yeah, currently right now I think it's painted like a.
It's like a light
literally
green.
like, oh, you can't see these. It's like this.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, which is kind of weird too, because in this house, the little girl's room was green. I hate green. Like, I would never want my room as a little girl painted green. Anyways, so painted it white here. So obviously I'm gonna paint the room, which by the way, now that I think about it too, the little girl had the biggest room in the house. Oh my God. It's very big, and it has a lot. It's not a 4-wall room. It has a lot of different nooks and crevices and dimension to it. So obviously gonna paint it white. Obviously gonna have a spot for my vanity that you normally see in the background. Gonna have a little area for clothing because y'all know I've been really getting into the fashion hauls and the clothing. That's where my heart has just been guiding me, and I'm here for it. I love it. I hope you guys do too. If you do, let me know in the comments. But one thing I've never had room for, and I've actually really had a need for based off of my new project coming up and just how much computer work I do, is the office is big enough to not only have my vanity and have an entire like clothing rack section, but it's big enough for a full desk, a full office desk. So I really want to get a big workspace where I can have space for obviously myself to work, but for a couple of employees to work. So a lot of room for growth. I mean, that's like the theme of the house. Room for growth for our family, room for growth in our businesses, room for growth for animals, more dogs. Binky needs a brother soon. Just, there's gonna be a lot of growth, and we're gonna be sharing and documenting 100% of it. I guarantee I will be, better get ready for the camera everywhere, Dave. But
I'll still post like once a month maybe.
Yeah, once a month. That's giving you too much credit. You never post. But there's so much expanding that's gonna be happening for my work, and I'm gonna probably leave room for what's to come in the next couple of years. So a lot of ideas. I know it's gonna come to life when I actually get there, but I'm really excited. And your office is incredibly dope. Oh,
yeah,
I almost said a bad word again, but it's incredible. It's like the classic, like you need a cigar and whiskey at all times throughout the day, because it's like that wood, like you talk about it, but it's awesome.
I think she would kill me if I smoked a cigar in the office.
Oh, in the cigars in the house, wifey's gonna lose it.
No, but it's like the wood office with the fireplace. I got a fireplace in the office.
I don't have a fireplace, so.
And no, it's just really nice, and the ceiling's like got the same detail and stuff. So no, I'm excited. I'm also excited to be able to like put some lights up and do different things to make like everyday work, since a lot of stuff, you know, we're still doing a lot of stuff on Zoom, and it's just stationary and it's there, and switch up my desk. I love my desk I have now, but it's massive, and really, you know, I'm just excited to like finally be able to customize like our workspaces and where we live. That's probably like my most exciting thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So I think we've covered most of the house, talked about leaving California, why we're most excited, what we love most about the house. Off camera, Nick was like, we need to wrap it up. I think we're just like talking about the house a lot. So I just wanted to end this video by asking you, what would be your #1 biggest piece of advice to someone that's trying to buy a house? Because I wish I had had a little bit more advice actually. Luckily I had you, but in terms of just preparing like through the process of the ups and downs, what would you tell a first-time home buyer to expect and how to handle the whole process?
Well, that's a really good question.
No.
So really, like, it's your whole team that's part of the transaction really matters. So that's from your real estate agent, obviously helping you negotiate, find the best deal, work with the seller, and negotiate the terms of your deal, right? But then after that, like, the lender you use matters a lot too. Luckily, I also have an amazing lender. It happens to be a good friend of mine, and because there's a lot of things that happen on the loan side that if you're not paying attention to, or you don't know any better, like costs could change, interest rates could change, you know, and so you just want to make sure that you're going into it. Also, any veterans that are watching this, like if you're a veteran, or your husband is, or your wife is, or whoever is, like that's the VA loan is one of the most amazing things on the planet that the government ever gave veterans. If you use it, right? And so you get a ton of perks, you get better interest rates, you don't have to put as much money down. Like, it's an amazing tool to use if you're a veteran. So I highly encourage you, like, if you thought you couldn't buy a house, you probably can if you're a veteran. It's not that difficult. So, and for the home buying processes, those of you that may have normal jobs, or you get a W-2, you get a paycheck every month and taxes are taken out and all that, as long as you can afford the house you're buying, it's pretty smooth getting a loan. For those of you that are self-employed like me, it's a nightmare. There's no other way to put it. It's a nightmare. So just really be prepared for that. Also, any of you that are self-employed, you need to be thinking 2 years ahead of when you actually want to buy a house, because you need to make sure you're showing enough income on your taxes. So if you're a very aggressive person, obviously nobody on here would do anything illegal with their taxes, but if you're very aggressive with your write-offs and you don't show that much income, no matter how much money you made maybe last year, they look at your last 2 years. So you need to be forward planning 2 years ahead. Like, I'm gonna buy a house in the next 2 years. If you're self-employed, make sure you're not changing your entities, making sure you're not, you know, if you're starting a new company, expect that not to count. Things like that that, you know, really popped up during this for me, and just then having to document everything and all of that is kind of a pain because I own quite a few companies. So I would just encourage you, if you're self-employed, start getting your stuff in order, be good, plan 2 years ahead as far as like your taxes and stuff go. If you have a normal paycheck, it's not that difficult to prove all of that stuff. If you can take advantage of the VA loan because you or someone in your family is a veteran, that's huge. And just, you know, be prepared for the process, have the money, you know, have your finances in order. Don't get a house so big or so expensive that like all you can do is live in your house and you never have money to go do anything fun, because that's not fun. And so just all of those things, just take those things into consideration. Make sure you got a good real estate agent, make sure you got a good lender. And also when it comes to the real estate agent stuff, like, consider who's referring it. Like, I know a lot of people that are friends that are like, hey, you know, you should have hit me up for the house, but they live like 5 hours away from where I was buying the house. Like, it didn't really make any sense, right? And so find a good person, because when you start to work with your real estate agent, once you go to put that first offer in, generally, sometimes they do it right away, sometimes they do it when you put the offer in, you're signing a contract with that agent that if you plan to buy a house in the next year or two, you have to use them. So make sure you like that person and that they're good before you sign that piece of paper that kind of says you're working with me for the next year or two, if you buy a house, you know? So,
yeah. Wow, that was a loaded answer, but that was a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, I hope that helped.
You need to do your own how to buy a house series.
Yeah, I just kind of went into it.
I'm just looking at you like...
Every once in a while throughout this process, I would just kind of say like, hey, you need to sign this.
Yeah, I mean, I would read over it, but I'm like, oh, I hope I'm not signing my life away.
She did, she doesn't know, but it's okay.
Well, anyways, I think that was great advice. All stuff he knew because he's bought a house before, but I was learning along the way, and having the right team, like he said, was the best and biggest, most important part about this for me, to keep my sanity and to know everything we were doing was the right decision. So, I mean, if you need to rewind this video and listen to that little segment like 5 times to get it in your head, honestly, I would suggest you do that if you're gonna buy a house soon. But I think we answered a lot of good questions and hopefully shared with you guys our excitement. We are so excited to move to Texas.
It's gonna be cool.
Start our family, be with our families again, our current families.
It's getting a day closer every day. I'm like, dang, we haven't packed anything.
By the way, it's currently October 9th today.
Yeah, I think it's the 9th.
It's the 9th. I know this video is going up after, but we leave California on the 13th. And we have so much traveling between them. Like, we have to have this whole house packed up in like 2 weeks. So
yeah,
it makes me think we should stop filming and go back. But anyways,
wanna go to lunch?
I'm down. All right, packing not happening today. So I hope you enjoyed this video of getting to know us a little bit better, getting to share this huge life change, huge thing that we're doing together, moving to Texas. I hope this video was fun. I also hope it was helpful with the smartest guy like ever here. Anything you want to say before we end?
Just remember, like, if you guys saw our post or anything, it was like 5 years ago that we needed help for rent in like the crappiest little townhouse thing in LA where like there was no air conditioning and like
We didn't really share that.
Like, so we talked about it in the post that we posted, I think.
Let's do the quick version.
But like, that was only 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't have cooler cars, we like didn't have means to do a whole lot, and we literally found this place on Airbnb, negotiated a decent deal.
Couldn't even afford it though with the negotiated deal.
Yeah, so we needed a little help on that, and literally it had a wall unit air conditioner in the bedroom. It was a 1-bedroom like townhome somehow, like a 4-plex thingy. Yeah. I don't even know what to call it. And if we cooked dinner, which we did most of the time because we didn't have money to go eat out,
yeah,
we ate a lot of colder stuff then, because if you use the oven or the stovetop, like the temperature would increase like 8 degrees, 10 degrees in the house, and then you couldn't sleep, even with the wall unit. So like it was interesting times, but I say that only to say, like, that was 5 years ago. So if you really put your head down and you focus and you go after it, like, you can truly accomplish anything that you ever wanted.
Yep, we started with the 670 square foot apartment, and our new house is 7,000 square feet. And that was in 5 years. We share that, not to brag at all, but to let you know that it's possible. Like, anything is possible if you want it enough, if you have the best team, best partner, best group, best environment you can possibly surround yourself with, you can accomplish anything. So I hope this video was fun for y'all to watch. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you got a little bit of motivation and inspiration, but we are gonna sign off. Thank you so much for watching. Thank my hubby, who is so freaking busy. He never has time to film with me, so thank you for being on my channel.
Yeah.
And sharing, but I hope y'all have a great day. Make sure to tune in for next week's video. We'll have some kind of a try-on fun clothing haul coming back for next week's video. But I hope you have a great day, and I'll see y'all next week. Bye! Give me a kiss.
See ya.
Mwah.